Bill, your impressions of the first period, and off the top with Philadelphia leading, I think the Sixers are not awed at all about the rebounding battle. I know against Boston they had that problem, but they seem to be a lot more confident off the rebounding boards against Los Angeles.
Well, the Sixers are not ordinarily a good rebounding team. So if they're 3, 4, or 7 rebounds behind, that's not bad for them. And in fact, that's a strong position for them to be in. And I thought that their quickness showed itself the first quarter. Their good defense, they came up with a lot of turnovers that they created, and they rebounded a little better than they usually do. But the outstanding thing to me was the way that Darryl Dawkins started the game.
And he came in only because Caldwell Jones had 2 personal fouls. Andrew Toney throws up a rare air ball for him. By the way, Philadelphia, talking about rebounding, had 6 offensive rebounds in that first period. Turnover story, Los Angeles turned over more than they'd like by far.
And I think that the first quarter turnovers by the Lakers may be a result of the fact that they've been this layoff. And it's hard to keep your game tempo just practicing.
Dawkins against Rambis. He is a confident fellow. Says he's not 100%. He broke shin bone in his right leg and missed 28 games this year. Missing outside. Nixon. Bobby Jones. That's the transition game that Philadelphia does so well. And Jones is a key man when it comes to that.
Right. When they get their break running, Bobby Jones runs a fast break, runs the lanes so well because he knows how to time himself. He doesn't run full speed all the time, but he knows how to have those bursts of speed that free it for the layup.
Rambis off the glass. Dawkins. Phantom. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Philadelphia can establish their biggest lead of the ball game if they can score here. 7 seconds on the clock. Toney to Bobby Jones. Dawkins left of the key. Phantom offensive rebound. Tippin. Mike Phantom and Pat Riley disgusted right now as the Sixers have opened up an 8-point lead. But let's caution you right now, this is the kind of series that a 10-point lead is not going to mean that much.
Now Mike Phantom just showed some of the reasons that the Sixers picked him up. They didn't pick him up for his shooting. They picked him up for his defense and offensive rebounding.
Now they've called another offensive foul on Kurt Rambis, his second offensive foul of the ballgame.
Now here's the call. The push off there. He has the ball. Now there's the hook with the elbow. That's what they called.
Awfully subtle.
Yeah, subtle like a freight train.
Under 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Plenty of time. Clint Richardson has his shot blocked by Bob McAdoo. And
he'll do those kind of things, son.
Cheeks, Erving, and Caldwell Jones all on the bench for Philadelphia, and they have an 8-point lead. So they're making hay with some big people sitting it out. McAdoo has his shot blocked out of bounds. It is still Los Angeles ball, and here comes 7'2" Kareem Abdul-Jabbar back in the ball game. He scored 5 points and had 2 personal fouls, and he'll come back in the ball game.
The 76ers had 3 guys with over 100 block shots this season, and that's the anchor to their great defense.
You're looking at the top rebounding teams in the league this year. Los Angeles was 2nd. Philadelphia was 20th. But the rebound story in this game off the offensive glass shows Philadelphia with the edge. And when they've had the offensive rebound, this is how they've converted into points. 14-2, which is even more impressive as Dawkins comes back with Clint Richardson, Bobby Jones, Mike Phantom, and Andrew Toney. Interesting that Norm Nixon has yet to hit in 4 tries from the field, and Nixon established a career-high 31 points against San Antonio. Kareem, as we mentioned, back in the ball game at center.
And again, I want to emphasize, I think that some of the problems that the Lakers are having is because of layoff. That's not one of them.
Kareem scored 41 points, and whenever the Lakers needed points, they got it from him. Dawkins trying to get free. Now Toney playing the baseline. 8 seconds. This is a well-executed ball play. Dawkins turnaround jump shot hit. They worked the clock that time and worked it well. And Darryl Dawkins has 12 points on 5 for 9 shooting.
And I think that the Lakers, as a team, if the Sixers in the half-court game use up a lot of the clock, they may frustrate him a little bit.
There's that Cooper loop that they call. The only play they run for Michael Cooper, it's the old alley-oop, which they call the Cooper loop. McAdoo picks up Tony. Cooper guarded by Bobby Jones, or Bobby Jones trying to get free from Cooper. Gets the pass. Nice pass from Tony and converts inside. They took advantage of that mismatch.
When Bobby Jones set that pick and they switched, they took their time to take advantage of it. Came up with an easy basket.
Tony has 5 assists. Cheeks has 11 or 6 for a total of 11, and they've matched their biggest lead. And Dawkins is hit with the personal foul. That is his 3rd personal foul.
And this is a normal situation for Dawkins. Here they are, getting to know each other. Say, here we are in the playoffs again. Let's get to know each other. Oh, there you are. And there's a jump shot.
Darryl Dawkins goes out of the game with 3 personals and 12 points. The basket was scored by Norm Nixon, his first of the ball game. And the personal foul on the Sixers. Julius Erving has come back in the ball game. He has scored 8 points, all in the first period. Tony has his 2nd foul. Jones goes out of the game. So Banton, Caldwell, Jones, and Julius Erving are up front now. So C. Jones is in there with 2 fouls. Dawkins on the bench with 3.
And there's that trapping defense that the Lakers used. Into that, they think that they can rattle the Sixers with it, especially when Maurice Cheeks is not in the game.
4 minutes gone by. In the 2nd period, Dick Stockton and Bill Russell from the Spectrum. In the low to Kareem. Caldwell Jones there for the rebound. The all-time defensive rebounder for Philadelphia, Caldwell Jones. Biggest lead has been 8. Blocked by Kareem out of bounds. He was 3rd in the league in blocked shots this year.
And he just announced to the Sixers, I'm here defensively too, fellas.
Caldwell Jones has been effective as an outside shooter when he's been open, and others have been double teamed in this series. Out of bounds, LA ball. Let me ask you this. Have you seen the same kind of double teaming on Julius Erving and Andrew Toney as we've seen the other teams, as Cooper misses?
Not quite the same kind, but they do double team these guys because they feel that you get your guys in foul trouble if you don't do that. And they don't want to neither team wants to get any of their players in foul trouble, so they double team to save that.
You saw them double team Tony, but he got the ball away to Mike Bantam, who's come alive offensively with 6 points. Kareem tried to put it in, and there you can hear it all the way up to the last row as Bantam hit Jamal Wilkes. Mike's 2nd foul and the 3rd team foul. Billy Cunningham, the first coach, reached 200 wins faster than any other coach in league history. And his opposite number, Pat Riley,
who I think has done a remarkably good job with the Lakers. Now, there are some people that think that all Pat Riley has to do is roll the ball up, roll the ball out there and say, okay, guys, when you get through, let me know. He's doing an excellent job. He's coaching just enough. And doing, I think, just a marvelous job with this team.
He took over in mid-November from Paul Westhead, and the Lakers won on 11-2 tear at that point. Julius in and out from the corner, and here comes Cooper. There's a 4-on-2 break. Norm Nixon to Cooper. Look at the pass back to Jamal Wilkes. That's the Laker break. They're all built like greyhounds and whippets, and you saw the fast break there. 6:45 to go, first half.
You know, it's really funny, Dick, to talk to the coaches, and they both say the same thing. We want to run, but we don't want them to